You need to realize the consequences of your actions. Stop!
In the video shown before, we see somebody committing a devious lick. The devious lick is a trend on the app TikTok in which students steal or vandalize school property. Some have stolen soap dispensers, and some have gone so far as to steal entire toilets. What we know is that trends like these are very harmful and spoil your digital footprint. Some may be wondering, what is a digital footprint? A digital footprint is a trail of data left behind when an individual uses the internet. It is their digital activity. It is created and added to whenever you go onto an app, post something online, and even when you click on a website.
OMG, I have so many likes and views.
You are so cool.
I am so popular. I got 1 billion views now. I now have validation and people enjoy my content.
When we think about digital footprints, we usually think about the two types, the active digital footprint and the passive digital footprint. An active digital footprint is the information that an individual willingly decides to share with the public. For example, someone posting themselves doing a devious lick so all their friends can see. The other type of footprint, which is known as passive, is the footprint that people might unwillingly make. An example of this can be shown when you scroll through Instagram. When someone scrolls through their feed, they might pause at a post that they really like and interact with it. Some may not know this, but when people do this, they are leaving a trail behind of what they are interested in, and from then on, Instagram will recommend them accounts that post similar content in order to keep them on the app for as long as possible.
Say you're really into music, and as you scroll through your Instagram feed, a picture of your favorite musician pops up. You might get into the comments and start praising them, or you might just simply stare at the picture for a couple seconds, admiring the person. All of this is being tracked by Instagram. These pauses and interactions help them know what you're into, and the next day you might get a recommendation to follow a fan account for that same musician. It is all a game that tricks your mind into turning 1 minute into 5 minutes, then 5 minutes into 10, and so on.
If you choose to post a devious lick, you are leaving an active digital footprint on yourself that will affect you in many ways. Say you are in a devious lick video, but you do not actually do the lick. Someone who is watching the video will still see you and associate you with the act, which leaves a passive footprint. A digital footprint is near impossible to erase. It is a continuous trail that will always lead to you and follow you forever. Even if you clear your history, your digital footprint is never fully deleted. This is due to the fact that websites you have visited still have access to the trail you left when you visited it. Therefore, you need to take the steps to ensure that you can protect your identity and reputation. Some may dismiss the Devious Licks challenge as a silly internet trend, but if you choose to participate in this challenge, you are leaving behind a trail that is going to come back and bite you in many ways. It is as if you were carrying a sack of rice through the store. Unknowingly, as you were carrying the bag, a little tear occurs at the back, and as you walk on, the rice keeps falling out until there is none left. If one were to follow this trail of rice, it would lead straight back to you and you would be punished for it. This is exactly how your digital footprint works. You need to make sure you aren't portraying a negative line of yourself online, because it will come back to bite you.
And that is why I believe I am a good student and should be accepted into this awesome college full of great opportunities and for my bright future.
Okay, we will consider your application.
Hey, Principal Pal, I found this video of them doing a devious lick on TikTok.
Oh my goodness, we cannot accept her into the school. I will call her. Hello?
Hello?
Is this Angel?
Yes?
Hi, we cannot accept you into the school. You committed a devious lick. You are a disgrace. Thank you.
No!
As shown in the example, your digital footprint can follow you for years to come. Your trail will always lead back to you, therefore, you need to be careful and aware of what you post. A simple way to think about what you post is to consider, what will your grandma think if you posted this? Would she be disgusted? If yes, don't post it.
In the moment, it may seem like a fun idea to partake in a challenge like this, but it is important to consider the short-term and long-term effects. If you steal school property, all students at school lose something that could have been useful to them, and in turn, everybody suffers. The world is already being ravaged by a pandemic. People are sad, people are alone, and people are done. Stealing from the school takes away many people's resources who may not otherwise have them at home.
As well, the items that are stolen do not just magically reappear. Someone is going to have to pay for them, and someone is going to have to replace them. And that someone is the school or the school board. The money that the school might have wanted to use for things like special field trips or extended childcare programs will go to waste over useless and harmful theft, hurting the spirit on the school in the long run.
We need to do some critical thinking. Will the 15 minutes of fame really be worth it in the future? Society has reached a point where likes and comments have become some sort of validation. But even if it feels good in the moment, it may not be a good look on you when you are applying for a job or applying to a university.
Say you are the school administrator. As the head of the school, you need to take some time to educate your students and faculty about the consequences of their actions. All teenagers have spites of immaturity to them, but when it goes too far, administrators need to put their foot down for justice.
They need to take some time to talk to students on how stealing school property is harming them even more than it is harming the school, as it is taking away from their own potential opportunities that have now lost funding. Some teenagers may be immature, but when you talk to them and try to understand their point of view, then change can be made. Engaging in a positive conversation and talking about consequences of one action is the best way for an administrator to put a stop to harmful trends such as this. The last thing you want to do with a teenager is give them a lecture. Many teenagers collectively hate long, serious lectures and often lose focus on the topic and end up doing it again. Administrators need to work around these factors and find more positive ways to incite change.
The Devious Lick Challenge is very harmful to your digital footprint because once you post it, it becomes linked to your name and account. If someone of importance were to see your video, they would automatically associate you with foolishness, bad behavior, and vandalism. Consider the question, would you want to associate yourself with someone who is known for vandalism?
School is an important place to learn about digital safety, and students often have to sign a digital policy to ensure they will use the internet responsibly. School administrators should seize the opportunity to use that policy to educate students on their digital footprint by mentioning the important use of maintaining a safe trail. As well, administrators can enforce teachers to spend some of their class time educating students on what a digital footprint is and how to keep it professional and neutral.
You can also take your own measures to manage your own digital footprint as well. The easiest thing to do is to not post anything online. But I understand. Why go on the internet if we're not going to use it? A way to control this is to make sure that you do not post harmful things about yourself or anybody else. Being kind goes a long way, and it's the best way to make sure you leave a positive digital footprint and don't cause trouble for yourself in the long run. This may be difficult for some, so instead, they can post only professional and neutral posts, as well as making sure you do not overshare online.
Another simple fix is to manage your privacy settings, so only your friends and family can view your posts. This can ensure that even if you do overshare, the only ones seeing it are the people you can trust.
To see if you need to better protect your digital footprint, you can search yourself up online and see what comes up. If something unflattering does show, then you can take the measures to delete it from the internet to the best of your abilities. Everyone makes mistakes, and if you learn from them and improve, you will be fine. However, it is not acceptable to continuously be unmindful of those around you. You need to change in order to make a difference.
To keep your digital footprint safe from websites and apps, you can change your cookie settings and delete as many cookies as you can. This will clear your browsing history and information that websites keep on you.
Some may ask, is this challenge truly preventable? What we think is that no challenge can ever be completely stopped. Once it is in the minds of the people, they will find a way to keep it going no matter what happens. However, improving security measures in schools or imposing strict punishments could work, but retaliation would almost be inevitable. We need to dive deeper and see why such violent and harmful acts are so common, and only then will we be able to see how they can be prevented.
And that concludes our presentation. Thanks for watching and listening. Hopefully this presentation has informed you on what your digital footprint is and convinced you to keep it professional. If you have any questions, let us know. And once again, thank you.
OMG, I have so many likes and views.
You are so cool.
Like